Which is more important, diet or psychology? You could also ask, when you have a bike, which is more important, the handlebar or the wheels? You may ask, if this is all one system, where would you recommend that I start? What are the most important aspects to combine to make my system, basically more functional? Or, if I was creating a bike, what are the minimum requirements for a bike, like a handlebar and wheels and all that sort of stuff? So I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple of the really key foundational pieces that I found for alleviating anxiety and increasing productivity. One is making the transition from a negative reinforcement psychological system to a positive reinforcement psychological system. So I'll give the example I love to give. Say that you're someone who has been procrastinating doing a task for work. There was a deadline and you needed to get it done, and you finally made it in time. Now, if you are someone who's anxious or depressed, your reaction to that is likely something along the lines of this. Well, I got it done, but now all this other stuff is built up, and now I'm feeling overwhelmed, and it's just one deadline over after the next, and I never finish, and why am I doing this anyway? And I really just want to, check Facebook and then go to sleep. If, on the other hand, you're someone who is optimistic and, productive, your reaction to the same scenario, you procrastinated a little, but you made your deadline and you're finished. Your reaction is going to be something like this. I'm so relieved. I'm so glad that I finished. That took a lot of work on my part, but I did it. And now that I've proven myself that I can do that, I know I can do anything, and I'm going to take on the next task, and I'm going to do even better. So you can hear the difference, just psychologically, how you respond to the same scenario. So that's the first thing I want to help you with. And to do that, what you're essentially doing is changing from a negative reinforcement system to a positive reinforcement system. And there are many, many ways that you can do this. I'll link below on the YouTube video and in the article a link to my more extensive sound recording. I did a free teleseminar, Anxiety to Productivity 101. So that can give you more detail on that. As just one quick place to start, I would recommend looking at the website Grateful 160. That's GRATEFUL 160.com. That's a free site, and all it does is send you a reminder between 1 and 4 times a day via text or email, just to think of one thing you're grateful for. And it helps you, just get used to thinking in a different way and establishing more positive psychology. So the other thing I want to recommend is, we worked on the handlebars, now let's work on the wheels. Food is important, right? Your body is made out of food. You need to be fueling your body with the right nutrients. If you don't eat the right things, like if you don't get enough salt or you don't get enough water, you're going to die, right? So of course it matters on a more subtle note, and what you eat affects your mood and how anxious you are and things like that. So there's a lot to diet as well. A couple of the key things that you can change right away that I often help people are getting enough protein. Most people do not get enough protein. You want to be getting about 90 to 100 grams a day to just not be anxious, so your body can handle things. And to give you an idea of how much protein that is, a hamburger patty is about 20 grams of protein, a half-pound fish fillet is about 40 grams of protein, a half cup of soy protein powder is about 35 grams. So if you're someone who eats hamburgers, that's 5 hamburger patties. That's probably more than you're eating. So making sure you get enough of that is important. However, diet is also its own complex system, right? To be able to correctly absorb the protein, you also need to be drinking enough water. So how do you know if you're drinking enough water? There's a lot of conflicting evidence. If you Google it, there's the 8 glasses a day, but then other pages say that's not true because you get water from food. So how do you know how much? The best way is through what your body tells you. So the color of your urine tells you how much, how hydrated you are. If it's very dark, like apple juice colored, you are dehydrated. If it's clear, you're probably good. If you're someone who's athletic and exercising all the time, then you and it's clear, you might need to look into overhydration. But for most people, if it's light color or clear, you're good. So drink enough water and use yourself as a biofeedback device, and that's how you can tell. And the last thing I want to recommend on diet to really the triad to make sure you're getting the really key things together is making sure you're getting enough electrolytes. So when you talk about electrolytes, typically people think of sugary sport drinks, and those do have electrolytes in them, but the best source of electrolytes is actually food, especially vegetables. Kale, kale's a very good one. That's the best. If you really want to feel good, I would recommend doing a smoothie or a juice of kale, carrots, and apple. Do that juice every day, and you're going to be great. So that's the end of this talk. And I hope that helps you with getting started. And please, if you want more of the psychological information, check out my free teleseminar. If you'd like it in text form, sign up for my newsletter and I'll send you the highlights in text form. And that's all for today. Thank you.